in one gender or another. But I've never sort of thought about it like that. I think we're all sort of part of that human race, as I say to many people. Welcome to the human race. We've all got to sort of map out our own personal journeys and professional journeys, and you want to draw on your strengths and work on your weaknesses, I think, as you do that.
Yeah. So Eileen, is that maybe a piece of advice that you would give to women out there? Draw your own stakeholder map? Or
Absolutely. I think that's a piece of advice not only for women but for men,
Okay.
And I think men maybe naturally do that. For women, it might be more of an exercise that you would need. Well, I don't know. Maybe women do that naturally too. It certainly didn't come naturally to me, and I thought that I did benefit from that. Though it really helped me to understand which relationships were strong, which relationships needed building, and then put a plan together as to how I would go about doing that.
Lee, do you have one piece of advice for the women here today?
I think if I were to reflect, probably what I haven't done as well as I think many of my male counterparts have, is that whole idea of networking, getting to know more people. I would choose to go home. I would choose to go home to be with the family, and I'd bypass functions and other opportunities perhaps to meet new people within and outside of the industry. And I think that I was told once by someone, build your fortress. And we can't be good at everything. We just can't. So make sure that you have people within, within that fortress, the one that you're building, that have areas of brilliance that it's not one of your competencies. And then again, lean on those individuals to help you when you need support in other areas. I think that would be my one piece of advice.
What about, maybe Nancy, what about a piece of advice for the men who work with all these women?
I think, again, we're all works in progress, and it's okay. Embrace, your strengths and your weaknesses, and view it as a journey, and it's people, tend to focus on that destination and the goal, and as I'm sure many of you have, as you've achieved some of those milestones in your life, when you get there, you say, okay, and what's next, and it is a lifelong journey and one of personal growth. Again, it's you want to build up yourself as a competent human, man, woman, it's really, in my mind, should be irrelevant, and just enjoy the journey and embrace, your weaknesses and work on them. I think, as you say, you can't be good at everything and you can't be all things, all the time to all people, but, you want to, at the end of the day, sit down and feel, satisfied with that day, feel that what you put into it, you got out, and be ready and motivated to take on the next set of challenges.
Okay.
I think one piece of advice that I would give is that we all need to be really honest with ourselves in terms of what we want to achieve. And sometimes those decisions are more difficult for women. But be honest with yourself, and then state your ambition and state it out loud. I would say that is something that once you and your family and your partner have decided what path you want to take, enjoy the journey, but state that out loud, and then find people who will support you, and in that journey.
Mm-hmm. So I would like to leave 10 minutes for questions from you. So I'd just like to end the session by saying that, for all the women like yourselves who have reached the highest ranks, your accomplishments do represent significant milestones, as we have heard, and not even for women in the pharmaceutical industry, but really women everywhere in Canada who are making career choices every day. So thank you, and thank you for inspiring me and the audience today. And I'll leave some room for questions. Any questions from the audience? Yes. Sure. I think there's one that will be passed around.
Thank you very much for being here. So my question is, how critical has relocation or just extensive travel been to the success in your careers?
Well, I'll start with that because I was fortunate enough to have an opportunity for relocation, and I think that